there's something wrong with my camera. Hi, y'all. Does my camera look funny on for you guys? My side, it looks really funny. Maybe it's highlighted. Oh, yeah, there it is. Good morning. Right on. It's great to see you, Kate. Sue, you're supposed to be heading out of town. What are you doing? Day road trip, so won't be painting today, yes. Well, I'm stoked to see you guys out here. I got this one up because this is a commission I did like in the 90s, and unfortunately got a couple tears in it, some damage. So it was for a friend of mine, and he brought it over, and I'm going to fix it up this weekend. So I was going to show you that one. It's a blast from the past. And there's this one, which we're not actually going to work on today because it needs to dry. It's still a little tacky. Well, it's not tacky. It's still setting. You know, oil paint doesn't dry. It goes like this. The molecules lock together as it dries. So anyway, I was thinking about this one, and you know how we were playing with the bird up here, the grandiose bird, and she looks like she's just doing a job. She doesn't look like she's necessarily vested into the trip. It's just something she does. So I was thinking, like, this is going to be a grandiose scene here, and they'll be on the edge of a waterfall like we discussed. And then the bird in this hand might have a palette and a brush, and maybe it might not even be a bird, but maybe he's like an artist and he's being brought to a really great spot. And even if it's an artist bird, it would be so funny. But I like the idea of they're on a mission to get him to do, you know, to a really special place to do, you know, a landscape. So anyway, that's where this is at. Next week we'll be working on this one. Can you guys hear that beep? I'm sure you can. There's a crazy race going on outside my door. It's a 250-mile race, running race, and it finishes across the street from me. So 3 a.m, you'll hear 100, 200 people cheering, yay, as somebody crosses the line. It's pretty cool. It's been like this for 4 days now. Oh, I'm looking at the chat for a sec. Oh, it's hard to hear me. Thank you, Sue. Maybe that will be better. It's still beeping outside, but okay, maybe that's better. Oh, the beeping stopped. So this one is also pretty tired. Here's his arm, like reaching out, like, hey, like he wants to greet him. And then the wave coming up, I want to put a face here. Oops, see, it's so wet still. I want to put a face there, smiling back at him. And that way they're having this moment right before. So as far as painting goes, I mean, this is obviously everything is early. But I really like this highlight, like reflecting a bit of the wave. So as I model the color, I'm going to try to really play that moment up. It's a really kind of a tender moment right before he gets smacked. So anyway, we're going to let this one dry, and I'll show you what we're working on today. I'm pretty sure we ended last show working on this one. Oh, it's such a big beast. Can you guys see it okay? It's a funny angle, isn't it? Let's see if I can get this a little better. I don't know if I can didn't even get the whole thing in. That's okay. We're going to be focusing right in this area anyway. Just to grasp of the piece. It's like a street scene. We talked about it last week. Kind of worked on this area. This area hasn't found its way yet. But because it's inspired by the China Cat Sunflower by the Dead, I think what I'm going to do, I was originally having, because I'm going to put a ton of cats in here. I was originally going to have them all leading out of town, leading up here, like on the way out. But I'd rather bring all the focus to this moment. This is where it's happening. So if I do like, I was thinking, the starting point, if I do like a sunflower here, coming up, it's just kind of grown with a couple little ones. And it's just kind of grown in the middle of this more European street scene kind of thing. Then I can have cats around it, and then other cats coming in, and cats all over. It's like a cat town. So that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to look at the chat before I jump in. Scoozy. Uh-oh, that's going to be a soggy kitty. Well, hopefully the sound is better. And let's start. Happy Saturday morning to y'all. Thanks, Sue. It's hard to tell. It's so big, and I'm going to see if I can move this a little bit. Like that. That's better. I can't really see the whole painting. Who cares? I'm not working up there today anyway. And it's watermelon season. You guys haven't jumped in on the watermelon game yet. It's one of the best things about spring and summer. So I'm thinking, like, this cat's kind of my guide where he's looking. Basically right there. So we're going to make that where the plant's coming out. Yeah, it's funny because I was looking at the girl in the boat piece, and I was like, it's clear she's probably been navigating this confluence or whatever it is for most, if not her whole life. She has that I've done this a million times vibe to her. Also, I want to make sure I get the cat size right. So there's a door, it's about a cat. About like that. About in there. About that sort of. Maybe a little bigger, because then as they fall away, up here, it's like this, and down here, that's bigger. Oh, that's big though. And I'm not really worrying about the modeling right now as much as just the mood and the way they're interacting with each other. Cats are so fun now. And also the color, I'll put that on another there. Cats are so fascinating to paint. They're so graceful. Sue, do you guys have pets? I can't remember. I don't think you do. I know you had a dog that passed 2-3 years ago. I remember watching Rachel on the show that day. What I'm referring to is Rachel's Ghost. I think you can find it on YouTube under Ghost II, Ghost 2, but Roman numerals. Or I think you can just type in Rachel's Ghost and it shows up. She puts on a great show once a week. And I remember she mentioned her dog had passed during one of the shows, and it was like, you could tell she was just devastated. Moved right through it. I was really impressed. But Rachel is a very impressive person. As are you, Sue? And Sue, I don't know if you know this, but Pete and I are actually working on a little project together, which should be really fun. I don't want to say too much about it right now, but we're in the initial stages, and it'll be so fun to share with you guys later this year. Yeah, for rags, basically what I do is I buy micro towels, like micro, so there's not a lot of fluff, and I just cut them up as I'm working. You know, I still feel like, I mean, I want to have kittens in here too, but I feel like the cats are going to be too small. I need to go a little bigger. And then I think the way I'll work the tails, because the tails for some reason are always tricky for me. And I think the way I'll work them is just on another layer. Put the tails in, sometimes they'll be crossing, interacting. So the whole idea is there's, like I said, there'll be a plant here. I don't want to have one directly behind it because that would create an uncomfortable space. Kind of like this part right here. The way this bridge comes up and it's so close to his head, I think I'm going to raise that up a bit because I don't want this uncomfortable space. Or lower it so it crosses in. But right now I don't like how it's being framed by the bridge. The bridge is there. I mean, there'll be cats and stuff on it, but it's certainly not critical if I move those lines. I hope the volume is better and you guys can hear me. Regardless, it's just nice to have a Saturday morning paint, huh? When I was talking to Kate about it, she said, you speak like you're talking sometimes only to painters. It was such a good critique because that's not really what this stream's about. It's not an instructional at all. It's just spending a little time on Saturday morning, getting working. Probably one walking over here. It's a ridiculous looking cat. Oh, and the brush is it's like my secret weapon. I love this brush. I buy them by the gallon. It's a Princeton mini detailer, they call it, and it's a tiny little fan. I think it's a 020, and I end up using it all over the place when I'm blocking it, just because it's so smeary. I don't have to commit to lines early on. Like I don't want that line to be strong so that I'm bumping over it on future layers. So. Couple cats from the back. This one's got his head tilted a little bit, like he's, give him one of those curious side looks. It's ridiculous. Just like the only cat I got right now that has a good feel. Oh, this guy feels pretty good. I guess maybe he's lying down. I'm gonna throw the music over. Hey, how's the balance of music with the painting? And Sue, Masty Chef, that is Kate. So your new internet friend. Sue's gonna head out in 45, and I think I am too. Sue says we can't see the whole painting. I know, but I'm only working down here. Up there, it looks like that. All of these are gonna lead in to here, and I'll probably darken that up there, and even take the greenery away. So the only real greenery is in that area. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Uh, Thanks, Kate. That's a gorgeous painting you said. Let's see. You guys are so nice. Thanks for coming to my stream and checking it out. It's it's really cool to have some time. 1, 2. You guys know this record, right? It's not on camera. Sorry. But I can't play it because I'll just get shut down. It's too popular of a record. I think these Sam's records are pretty good because they tend to not flag me for using them. All right. Kate, you're so funny. It's so late there. And I'm the opposite. I got up at I went to bed at 9, I think, 8. Got up about 4. Took care of some stuff, and I don't like painting when the sun's down. I mean, I'll do it if I'm trying to finish a piece or something and it's close. But that's the time for web updating and that kind of thing. So I took care of some of that, and I'm releasing those new paintings on Monday. So, putting that together. The paintings are getting shot right now, which is fun. And then, yeah. It's already better. I'm bringing a focus to. It's funny how on the camera it feels almost like that's a tree because the warm colors are coming forward. But think of that as a darker road. Although I don't want to kill the red. I like the red. I don't know. I have to play with that. And then when I go back in here and put these tiles in and give it all the highlights and stuff, that's probably when I'll lay the flower in too, so I can be interacting with the background and the flower coming out, the way you should trap the paint. One that's perched down. Tail would be back here. I used to have one walking up, on this kind of angle. Because all these things are going to be directing, so I have it like that. Come off the side. It's fun when you're painting to think about how eyes will move through the piece. And, obviously everybody's different, but you can really create a pace by texture and repetition and move people through a piece. And this piece right now is in need of that kind of focus. There's a little headed cat. I like how it kind of breaks up, so it's not just a ring, I want them all kind of, how cats always play cool. They walk up, what? I'm not doing anything. I don't care about this, when really they are. I would definitely want to make sure I have that energy going. And then a paint. One of the things I like about painting is instead of withdrawing, which is great, drawing's a thing, but with painting, instead of thinking in line, you think more in form, and so the blobs out there, kind of shaping them. I I don't know, it's just a different way of thinking about. What's he doing? I think this guy and another one here will be having some kind of little. Oh, maybe there's another one coming up, the little one, and they've discovered it. So a tiny little green one there too, and that's cute. There could be some more of those kind of moments where they're just a couple peeking up, so you have these little groups, and then they're walking over. It's going to be such a fun piece to put on. He looks like he's standing on his head. Yeah, when it comes to the streams, I don't actually watch them because I know if I do, I'll never make another one. I'll be like, so cringy. But I think it's just because, we all have our hangups. I figured if I don't watch, then it's just me talking to some friends in the morning as I get my painting day going. That's a nice little trio right there. I like that. This guy over here is going to be fun too. This little guy, he's like, basically this is like coming down the stairs here. So he's like working his way down. I don't know what kind of shots these are going to be, but if it's a cat town, it'd be fun if there's a little cat right there already hiding in. I had a bunch in here before, laying on steps and fighting for food, but it wasn't the right tone. I like him right here, and this one right here, and this one right here, but I kind of took him out. Oh, I'm pointing up too high. I'm going to look at the chat really quick before I put some more in. Yeah, Sue, I'm excited to release the new work. It's been fun to finish it up. And now I'm figuring out how to do a video of the work. So that's been a fun side project, evening project. And the chat. I know you guys are so far away from each other and yet so similar in your awesomeness. All right, back to the cats. Palette for the day. Although it'll probably get changed out around 2 o'clock or something. I usually like to work on a bigger piece. I mean, this is pretty small, but for the show, it's pretty functional. The show. Who's looking at the show? In my work, I don't like to look at reference. Like if I want to paint a bicycle, or I don't like to look at a bicycle. I like to just try to remember what I think it looks like. And I end up finding things that are odd solutions, which, I don't know, for me it's more fun than just doing a photographic representation of a bike. I feel like that's covered. Because this guy's laying down on the street. And all these, like this door can be adjusted. It might not even be a door. It might be a whole different thing going on there. I might sliver the whole thing out and put a diner in. That could be cool. Then you can have the cats kind of walking out of the diner. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 16, 17. It's about 20 cats right now, so I want like 5 times that. Hi, Amy. Thanks for coming by. Oh, that's nice of you to say that you're digging the piece so far. Yeah, I think it's got potential. I mean, I don't know how it comes across on the camera, but paintings go through stages. Like the young, potential, exciting could be. I like to try to keep it in that stage for as long as possible. Then usually, as most painters here would testify to, I'm sure, they go through the stage where I don't know, they almost fall apart. It almost happens every time. In fact, if it doesn't happen, I get kind of worried. But I call it the puberty stage. It's just going through. It's uncomfortable, and then when it comes out of that, and I either take it out and decide this isn't working, or it moves on to the finished state. So this guy up here the whole time has been walking that way. I don't know if you can see him, but I might just take him out now that I'm looking at. Sometimes I'll put my hand over it, because then you can just kind of. I don't know. You ever do that with a frame when you're framing a piece, and then you put it on the corner and kind of block the edges, and your mind will make the whole thing feel framed. It's a good trick. Yeah, so every now and then, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but out the window it'll be, yeah, I was cheering. Although it hasn't been in one in like a half hour. I'll point it out if it does. There it is. Can you hear it? I do have my window closed. Maybe I'll open it. The problem is it's windy, and yeah, not gonna happen. I like how this cat's like. It'd be fun to have more of that. Yeah, this is the Ron L. Bright Trio, another amazing record from Sam's Records. Just the recordings are so good, and they're all like 50s and 60s, and just sound. I don't know who's doing the mastering. I should look it up, but it's awesome. Right, so if there's cats up here, I guess I'll have one on the edge. In the corner. This one's kind of walking. That's fine. I want him to be looking. It's a funny angle. Let me try that again. If that's like the fence, yeah. He's on. It's coming like that. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I'll pop the ears and you'll see it. Oh, that's a really interesting pose. You see that one? It's like his legs this, and this is where his tail would be, and his head's here. Almost looks like a Siamese cat, the shape of the head. I'll bring it in. Maybe you can see it better. It's funny, I was just going to wipe the whole thing out, and then found the cat doing that. I love that, because now I'm not fighting with the canvas as much as interacting with the canvas, Because one of the worst feelings, something fell. One of the worst feelings is when you're onto something and you're getting after it, and then you start to lose it, and you're trying to get it back, and now you're arguing with the canvas, and that never works. Yeah, that's a cool hike of the pack. Let me throw some different music on. I'm going to take a chance with this record. I think it probably will get flagged, but we'll see. Such a good record. Stand up for a bit. I'll try not to sing, Kate. Accidentally creating like a line here that I don't necessarily want to create. That's not where that guy goes. I just saw your comment, Kate. Oh, I don't think that's so true. I see him now. There's a concentration there. He's kind of, what do they call it when a cat, I think it's called loafing, when they get... I find myself going to my fingers, so I'm going to throw a glove on. I don't even realize it. It's funny because for the show, I'm trying to speak more when I'm painting. Just, not all the time, not every episode, but this one, clearly I'm caffeinated enough. Oh, did you hear the cheer? Probably not. But it's so funny because it's just, with you guys there, I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. I was trying to practice this week, so I just got more comfortable, and that is crazy because I'm just sitting alone in a chair babbling. So I gave that up after about 5 minutes. Just like, this is dumb. I'm just gonna do what I do, and it is what it is. I have such a great story about this song. Gosh, it's so involved. I don't know if I want to go into it. Another episode I will. It's just a really special song. For good reason. Another flower there. Gosh, I could bring him back. He's so close to that group. This guy's got a nice form, but I'm gonna let it be for now. Not quite right, but it's good enough for this layer. I have 70, 80 cats left. Supposed to start getting mad, right? I think that's just going to be a little kid from here. He's got a nice little white crest that can come on his belly. And some of these will go, and some of these will change, and I think I'm getting a little too small. Some of them need to get a little bigger. Or maybe I just bring these two. I keep finding myself kind of making them the size they want to be, whether I like it or not. Maybe when I shape them more. Let's see. Check the cat. I agree. I'm looking at your comment, Kate. That's funny. But don't all cats have attitude? I never met a cat that didn't think it was the coolest cat in the school. Well, I met some timid cats, but they carry themselves with such grace, and I know what the hell I'm doing, kind of thing, you know. This guy's cute. It's a little kitten. And where there's one kitten, you got to put more kittens. This guy looks like a fish coming off the ground. Oh, well. Oh, I see it. What if he's looking the other way? Let me grab a Q-tip. What if he's going the other way? Like trying to call other people over. And that way, when you get to that cat, it'll be pushing you. And then I can have another interested one right here, kind of perched behind him. throw a different record on. But that was nice little Marley in the morning. This is an afternoon in Paris. I love this record. Oh, I was going to play this one too. Do you guys know this record? Such a good little record. I remember when Sue was starting her journey into jazz. That was one of the records in the beginning she showed she was listening to. So I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And I went and picked one up too. So thanks for the tip, Sue. This one's cool because he's got like an arch in the way his head's right here. He's really suspicious. That's going to be a fun one. I like the attitude ones. Probably. I don't know where. Maybe there's no plant over here. Maybe it's just kittens. Just a mash of kittens right there. Or, for you guys, the letter C. I can see him in there though. His back, his head, kind of hunched his little kitten next to him. So small. I'm going to bring this guy up a bit so that the perspective isn't so shifted. I see his head, so I'm going to bring it in. One of the cool things about cats is they really do make just about every pose you could ever wish. Looks like a pigeon. Just gonna put a black spot here so I know where I was thinking the head would be. Just a pure walking wall right here. I almost stuck my finger into the paint. I'm trying not to get so much paint on my actual skin. It's not good for it. funny watching them all stare at things that aren't actually there yet. It'd be cool if there was like a whole gang coming down there. I'm gonna lower this and hit that for the last 15 minutes here. If I can, I might be too close to the wall. That's all right. There, now you can see the top. So if this is like a building, and this is a road and comes around. Oops. I know that that's not going to be necessarily what it is, but this entryway will be. It's nice. It has a good flow. So might as well bring some cats down the plank. Maybe it'll help me resolve that space. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bite a watermelon. So good, fresh out of the fridge, all cold. This watermelon was brought to you by Fred Cleary. Thank you, Fred. Cheers. All right, gang of cats. This will be fun to bring in today. I'll try to get their initial. Maybe he's licking himself. He has that kind of bent over, I'm licking myself look. You know that look. Could have had with those ears. Yeah, I found him. Took a hot minute. Took too much off them. And the truth is, that's enough for me to get where I need to get on this layer. But I can see him walking down the promenade. Although I don't even know, is that a promenade? And maybe it doesn't loop. Maybe this just leads into another. That's the solution. It leads into more buildings. Originally, I had this as more of this background back there, but yeah, I think that would be good. I'm gonna try that because now that I'm thinking about that, it might change where I want to place next cats. And that's what's cool because that one, just starting with the cats at the ramp, has already led me to, oh yeah, why am I self-containing the city in a loop? Let me check the chat. Kate says we can make out the kittens. That's awesome. Yeah, see, that's key. Keeping the edges soft is key because then you can just go for it and you're not worried about the commitment of the bumps. Amy says she likes watermelon, right? It's that time of year. What brand of Q-tips, Joe? It's like, they're so great. Pointed on one end, soft on the other. Looks like it's Clean Skin Club, and they're not that much money. And I buy them in like boxes of 4 boxes at once, kind of thing. But they're great. It's nice to have that tip. And if you want to get like, let's say you want to do like a highlight on an eye. Let's say like this is an eye. Here, I'll show you really quick. If this was an eye, what's cool is that if this eye was like small, or if you just want to get a small highlight, you can break them in half and get this really nice really fine chunk, and then dipping that into the white, you get about as small as you can get. And then you could, I'm going to take all this off just for demonstration. Then you could put the smallest white dot. You can't even see it on camera. Do it in the dark spot. And you can build it up really chunky if you wanted to. One of the things I love about when I see Rembrandt's work, it's like he finished his work and then he would go over it with some kind of, I don't know, I think it was like some kind of cobalt dryer or something, but he'd have the highlights and then he'd have like almost a crusty stain that's been removed across the top of it. It just adds such depth, Poor Rembrandt, died in an unmarked grave. Lost a bunch of his money to gambling debts and bad decisions. It's funny to say that Rembrandt's underrated because everybody knows him, but I'd argue that he's still underrated. He's in my top 5 for sure. I don't know what that top 5 would be. I guess Van Gogh's number 1, that's easy. Probably Botticelli would be 2. And Rembrandt, no, maybe Rembrandt 2. Botticelli 3. Cy Twombly would be in the top 10 for sure. Not the top 5. I just love his abandonment. Sorry, I know the music's too loud. Alright, I'm gonna go for the building before we wrap up the show. Like a door here, and a door here. This is the line. I don't need to kick that way like that. Let me turn the music down so some yappers. I'm gonna roll the window down. Can you hear the cheering? It's so awesome. All right. And since this is going to be the hot spot of the painting, these are going to be more darkers and bluers and, like a old red brick kind of thing. Already better having that info over there. Let me adjust the camera. See, it's kind of funky. This could be like a door, a nice wooden door. I've tried it. So I appreciate you guys coming around today for the show. It's very, very cool that you guys are showing up and supporting it a little bit. It's awesome. I'll go a few more minutes on this part. It's a nice lip happening right here. And there'll be other interesting things there, but then this is what the breaks. The sky. And it's a non-spot because until I resolve that, which I guess would probably be just a red brick that's kind of blued up. Yeah, being in Barcelona for the time I was, it was so amazing to see the architecture. It's like everything is, especially in the old part of town. They came up with solutions building by building. And, what if those are stairs? That's cool because if I have stairs there, instead of having building big windows on the floor, I can actually have apartments that people in. Something like that. I don't know if the lines are quite right, perspective wise, but all that will get adjusted. So, that's going to wrap up this week's episode. I'm going to look at the chat one more time before I go. I'm stoked I got up in here and started working out some of this stuff. I already feel better about the whole piece. Oh, and all these cats showed up. So let me look at the chat before I sign out. Okay. Yeah, Amy, just if you want to get a really fine tip with that, I like these ones because there's wood in the middle. I'm talking about using it for highlights, like you said. All right, Sue, enjoy your road trip, like Kate says. And yeah, Amy, don't you do that too? Just dip your hands in and go for it, especially when you're blocking out. I appreciate you guys all coming out, and catch you on the next one. I don't even know if I'm still live. Oh, I am. Bye. See you next week.